everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And I know we were going to work on our pull tab today, but I'm having to record this video today and put it up as opposed to yesterday. Bob and I did some errands yesterday morning. We stopped for lunch, and by the time we got home I was absolutely miserable. Something from the restaurant did not agree with me, and I curled up and hugged my pillow and went to sleep all afternoon. So one of the things I need to explain rather quickly, in the past year or so, I've gotten away from getting up egods early in the morning to upload videos and uploading them after 8 o'clock in the morning, and that is really sucking my bandwidth. And it's okay, except that by the afternoon, by the time my internet drops off, all my videos and everything really drag. So, with the exception of today, because this video needs to go up, from now on, videos will be recorded a day or two ahead of time and uploaded the morning they are supposed to appear. And enabled to have that free, quote-unquote, time to upload my videos, I need to do it between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. in the morning. So, any lives that I participate in, I'm doing with my data plan on my iPad, because we have tons of that. So, this is going to be my last afternoon video, hopefully, unless it's one that I record and schedule for an afternoon. We will do the pull tab pocket tomorrow. I've got a couple of things I'm looking at that I want to be able to show you with Tiffany Solorio, and so we're going to do that tomorrow, okay? Beginning next week, Thursday videos will be premiere videos, so those are going to come back next week. So, now one of my viewers had a question about how I do my kits. So I thought I would do a short video today on how I do the kits, what I look for, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to flip this over to make sure I stay in frame, and I've got a nice white background to show you. And first off, and I've already lost my piece of paper. I have a gal that I followed and had her. She has a list of things that you might include in a junk journal. And when I find that list, I will link it down below. It's a wide scope of things that you could include in a junk journal. Things that you probably have around the house. And I am not officially putting my February kit together yet. I need to get that January journal put away the Saturday, and then I can put my actual kit together. But I am going to give you some tips on what I look for when I'm putting together my junk journal kits. If I'm going to work with digitals, I try to find coordinating digitals from a number of creators. And when I do my actual kit video, I will link to the digital that I will be using. I also look at books and magazines that I have. I'm looking at papers. So am I going to go with whites, or am I going to go with vintage looks? That's going to determine whether I use plain copy paper from, an inexpensive, box store, or am I going to be doing copy or tea dyeing papers? That's the first thing I look for. I look for if I'm going to be using any digitals. I look for books and magazine pages that I may use. One of them that I pulled out of my shed today, oh, and there it is, artjournallist.com. I will link her down below. I pulled this old rubber stamp collection magazine from the Personal Stamp Exchange, and just the items on the front here, because, with the reds, whites, browns, pinks, I'm going with a Valentine theme. So while these in here are all black and white, that's fine. I love the colors of these items that I could cut out of here and use. So that's one thing. Another paper thing that I look for is envelopes. And I love these cherry blossoms on this mailer. I also look for calendars. And this one happens to be all pinks and whites. So I already have lined journaling space with this, and it's in the pinks and the browns. So I can cut these out, and I have journaling spaces for tags. So there's that one. I also went through my Stampin' Up! This morning, and I found a paper collection kit called Painted with Love, and it brought in some golds, but the reason I went with this one is because it has some artistic brush brush stroke items in it. And since we're going to be spotlighting Tiffany Solorio all this month, and we're going to be doing some mixed media tags and pockets and envelopes and that kind of thing, I thought this was perfect for that. Now remember, pinks, reds, browns, and whites or creams, but you can also bring in a gold. Remember, as long as you have your base colors from the challenge, you can bring in anything else you want to use. Maybe you want to do something freaky, like add a teal. That's fine. Or let conversation hearts, like the ones I have here, be your guide. Conversation hearts also come in greens and yellows, oranges. I got these wooden conversation hearts from Hobby Lobby, and right now all their Valentine stuff is 40% off. So I've got those to use. So once I get through the papers, oh yeah, I brought out a couple. I have old Victorias from 1988 that have some very romantic theme stuff in them. So I brought those out to maybe use something from. My cover, I do know is going to come from this paper bag that I got at Dollar Tree. And I have the pink ribbon. I have the cover that I can use for the cover. I have gussets in the red and white polka dot I can cut apart and do something with. So I know this is going to be my cover. So paper bags, gift bags. Also, I'm trying to do this without causing an avalanche over here. Another paper that I use is tissue papers. I found this gold in my stash. I found the Cupids in my stash. I have pinks, more of the golds, reds. So lots of different options here for tissue papers. Napkins are another good one. Lace doilies are a good paper option to use because they're thin and they allow you to build up layers without getting a lot of bulk. So I could layer this on a page. I could layer this on top, and I'm getting layers, but I'm not getting bulk. So that's something to think about. Make use of papers. Move that bag off to the side because it didn't count. There went more doilies on the floor. Packaging. This is from one of the heart doilies. I've got red and I've got pink to work with. Good heavyweight tag material. Then there are your envelopes. Bring in your junk envelopes. You can cover them and do all kinds of things with them, again, without adding a lot of bulk. I'm going to have mess down here to pick up when I'm done, I can tell. A little bit more texture, you can bring in fabric. And let me see if I can get this open really quick. These are cloth gift bags. They're a canvas that I picked up at Dollar Tree. There were 3 of them to the package. But I have hearts on one side. I have the pink string. And then I have the plain canvas on the back. But what if you take that plain canvas and you add a red doily? And then you maybe bring in some ribbon. And you have a whole new look to that fabric bag. It's flat like paper, but it has just a little bit more texture. And that's the other thing I look for, is texture. And I bring my texture into things like the embossed doilies. In with my laces. And I have this fine red heart lace that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I've got the larger red, or the larger lace that I bought at Hobby Lobby. I have, I'm going to dump stuff on the floor, I can tell. I have ribbons like this that are satin hearts. I could cut those apart and do individual or use a little strip of the ribbon by itself. And if you're liking some of these ribbons that I'm showing, stuff's going in the shop by Monday. I wanted to get it in sooner, but with the power outage and Bob being home, so he couldn't do anything because he didn't have any lights. Yeah, things got a little crazy. I also have confetti, so I have sequin hearts that are conversation hearts. I have these kind of hearts. I have sequins in reds and silver and whites that will make nice shaker cards. You can do slim shakers that don't have to be a lot of bulk, but they do add interest to your pages. When it comes to stuff like these roses, these are best done for the outside on your cover, unless you want to plan for that kind of bulk in your contents inside, but this makes great outside issues or for your journals. Another one of my laces, this is one I got from Maddie that I'll be using. Enamel dots and jewels are another great way to add interest. A little bit of bulk and texture to your journal without creating a gator mouth situation. So I use a lot of sequins and enamel dots. So I have those, several different types of ribbon. I went through my papers, and aside from the Paint with Love I'm going to use, I also found if you can bring in foils. I have this hot pink foil sheet. I have glitter paper. I have golden foil. I have an ombre glitter paper. Gold vellum. White velvet. And again, if you can bring those in fabrics, you know, felt sheets at the craft store are inexpensive. You can even find them in Dollar Tree now, and sometimes in Dollar General, since they're building up their craft supply. So that's a way to bring in texture without a lot of bulk. Some people think texture and they think big and bulky items, and that's not true. You can bring in thin things like this, and you've still got texture, but you don't have bulk, and that's something to think about. Washi tape is another great option. I have a whole basket here of a variety of washi tapes that I can use. This one in particular, they peel off individually, and I don't know if I can get that off on the outside or not. Maybe. Nope, it's going to stick. Yeah, it's going to stick. But those peel off in individual stickers as a washi tape, so that's kind of cool. I brought in my pink sari silk from out of the warehouse. I can iron that flat and use it almost like a ribbon, or I can leave it twisted in for a little bit of texture, but without a lot of bulk. I'm big on ribbons, can you tell? That's why there's going to be a lot of them going in the shop next week. These were some from my stash that I've had in my ribbon drawer seemingly forever that I can use. Okay, this is one I picked up at Dollar Tree last year, and I'm going to untie this so you can see this. This is kind of cool. It's almost like a webbing, but that'll add texture without the bulk. Paint chips are another great way to add interest. They're almost like ready-made tags without adding a lot of bulk. This is called Showstopper from the HGTV collection. There's all kinds of whites in here. Dover white. There's Snowbound, which we were last week. Other trims. Again, they're like ribbons, but they have a little bit more texture to them. So my three top things are, I want flat surfaces that I can work on and build up. I want textured stuff, whether it's hard stuff or it's soft, fibery stuff. And I love using lace and fibers. Those are my three main go-tos. Everything else just kind of grows organically as the journal grows. So I hope that helps. And I'm going to lay this list here. I know you're not going to be able to see it, but you can go to artjournalist.com. Artjournalist.com. It is Chelle Stein. And this came from her website from 2018. Here are some things she suggests making an art or junk journal. Use this checklist to go on a scavenger hunt to find supplies in your next creative project. Old books and magazines, junk mail, sheet music, sewing patterns, scrapbook paper and embellishments, postage stamps, stickers, playing cards, old games, bingo cards, greeting cards and envelopes, wrapping paper, tissue paper, napkins, old journals and notebooks, address books, planners, notepads and stationery, paper clips and binder clips, boxes, bins and containers, concert and event flyers, interesting business cards, coffee cup cozies, coasters from the bars, matchbooks, ticket stubs, tea bags, fruit and vegetable netting, old erasers, labels from soap and bath and beauty products. There's a whole list of things you can play with. So what I want you to do between now and tomorrow, Go on a scavenger hunt through your house or in your studio and say, what do I have that I could put in this month's journal? Is it soft? Is it paper? Is it hard and gives me just a little bit of texture without a lot of bulk? Think about those things, and I will see you back here tomorrow when we will be doing our pull tab pocket. That's it for me in the studio today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What is going to be your theme for this month's challenge? I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, creative blessings.